series. In this video, we are going to be figuring out how to boot USB if the USB does not boot just by plugging in and starting the computer. This whole series is about building a starter CAD PC, starter CAD workstation, I guess, if you will. So the problem that we're having is that in boot here and in advanced, there's nothing that represents what it's telling me to do down on this in research. And it basically says to look for a couple different things. I will bring it up here and tell you what I'm supposed to be looking for. So what I'm supposed to be looking for, according to this, AI summary, look for a boot option called boot option priorities or boot order. And I'm not seeing any of that here, right? We have a bunch of different stuff that really looks like any of that. So that's why we're just going to plug the drive in and see if it boots, and then install Ubuntu, which is the operating system that we are going to try using and plan on using. So I'm going to turn off the power here in order to plug in this this drive with Ubuntu on it. And kind of hoping that it just has a smart boot priority. I'm not really sure which. There's so many different. I should have powered that off first, I suppose. I will power it off. The motherboard light was still on. I'm powering it off and on. I think the light came on the flash drive, which means it is being recognized. There's so many different flash drive ports. I'm like, I don't know which one to use. I don't know if it matters. So now that that's plugged in, I'm going to power back on. And just real quick, I am going to, while that power's on, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to enter the live stream over here so that I can respond to y'all's. Respond to anybody's chats. So it should be going to, well, I guess I could press it to go into the BIOS. Excellent. That just boots. So we will be doing the install now. I'm just sort of quickly scanning the bottom and like looking for things. I'm scanning the whole screen. I'm going through it kind of slowly, kind of thoroughly. If you're trying to figure out how to put something on a flash drive, like put Linux on a flash drive, something that's going to be covered in this video and probably not in this series because I would have covered it already, but I already had this available, so we're just going to move forward. There's plenty of videos of how to do that. Ventoy is something that seems like a really powerful way to do it. I haven't successfully used this yet, but I think it works. So my mouse is not working. This mouse is connected up here. But we do have a keyboard. So I am just going to press enter here because there's nothing I want to change down there. So I'm pressing enter. Boot in normal mode, boot in grub 2 mode. File checksum. Checksum is to confirm that we have the right file. I think I already did the file checksum. And if I didn't, then, it's just not something that I plan on checking right now. Sorry, I'm just making sure the stream's working. It's not, my screens don't look correct. So, just making sure that I can see y'all's chats and whatnot before we move forward. The one other thing is from the last video, the VGA, sorry, I know this is kind of a little, we're a little right here, a little messy right now. YouTube.com. All right. The one other thing that I wanted to talk about from the previous video is the error that has, just very quickly, I want to talk about the error. Let's see here. The VGA card is not supported. So that I researched, and I went down to Naruko, N-O-O-K-O's comment. I scrolled down a little bit, and he talked about they talk about like a security thing. And so I am a little concerned. I decided to move forward. I don't remember what my reasoning is right now. Hi, Vesel. How do you say your name? Vesel Edvuhali. Sorry, I'm reading quick. So I'm leaving this link because it's part of the previous video. And this is just, I just found this interesting. Obviously, it's a different motherboard, but it's the same, still Asus and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting, and it's something to be concerned about. If I'm having graphics card issues or security issues or whatever, I'm gonna come back to that. We're gonna boot in normal mode. We're just gonna see how this. I don't know. Maybe I should be booting in Grub too. Grub, I think if I remember right, is typically for older. I could be remembering wrong, but it's typically for older computers and older things. I'll say hello and welcome. I'd do that. All right, so we're gonna boot in normal mode. All right, so we're booting in normal mode. We're gonna see how this goes. The reason I say hello in chat, by the way, is like people come and I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly. I just want people to see that I'm like, I'm happy to respond to you if you talk in chat. Try or install Ubuntu. Ubuntu, safe graphics. Boot from next volume. UEFI firmware settings. Use up and down arrow keys to select which entry is highlighted. Uh-oh, it's going to do it automatically. All right, well now we know we can go to UEFI firmware settings there. I just noticed the countdown timer, and so we are installing Ubuntu. Let's see if I can give you all a better view. Would it be I zoomed in? I'm like kind of. Let's see here. I'm going to drop the resolution. I zoomed in a little. I'm going to zoom back out, but. All right, cool. So this is the motherboard. This has always been popping up, and then this is Ubuntu, which is the operating system. So we're going to. I don't know. We'll see. It's booting. It's booting from the install media. The flash drive that I have is a blinking. It has a thing to signify it's doing something, and it is currently. So interesting. Okay, I guess this is Ubuntu desktop. So slow. But I think the reason that it's slow, I think, is because I'm not using a very fast flash drive. Just held for review. Boy, you sound ugly as, and then there's a custard by my name is Jeff. Not gonna let that comment go through, but you all know what they said. Cool. Choose your language. We'll go with English. Accessibility in Ubuntu. You can change them later in system settings. We'll go next. So yeah, this is a graphical install, I think, of Ubuntu. This isn't. It's fun to do the minimal type installs where you just have a command line. But I'm just kind of rolling with stuff right now. I already have this, so we're doing it this way. We'll do the English US keyboard layout. It is interesting that they have Esperanto right here. If y'all don't know that language, it's a It's a language that's designed to be an international language. That is the purpose of it, is my understanding. An internet connection will improve your installation with compatibility. Check and extra software packages. So, I think I am going to connect to a Wi-Fi network for this. So, I am going to move this, and I am going to be right back, I think, while I track down my Wi-Fi info. Oops. I wonder what time it says. I'm considering just starting. No, I'm going to. All right, yeah. So, yeah. So I'm gonna track down my Wi-Fi info. May take me a few minutes. Okay. I have to, I'm just gonna, let me kill video. Well, all right, now I'll just leave this. I have to type in the Wi-Fi, so that is why I can't see anything right now. Just letting people know. Okay. Connect to a Wi-Fi network. So you can also connect to a hidden Wi-Fi network. If you connect to a hidden Wi-Fi network, you type in hidden Wi-Fi network name, but I guess y'all would know that. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Darn it. Just typed the whole thing in the wrong keyboard. Thanks. All right. Thanks for the patience, everybody. This is, all right, here we go. All right. Alternatively, you can connect by pushing the WPS button on your router. It says that, so you can do that instead of typing in a password. All right, it looks like I'm connected, and it says an update is available for the installer. I am going to, all right, I got a video again. Let's see. Okay, an update is available for the installer. And we'll just update now. So I get motherboard and update ready, close installer. I guess this whoa, okay. The mother automatically boots from the hard drive. So there's nothing here. I guess I'm not gonna zoom out a little bit for everybody. See, it kind of looks like I've already have an Ubuntu desktop environment. I think this is what Ubuntu looks like. I'm not like, man, installing via graphical UV, like installing with the GUI version, I'm like not a fan of already, but whatever. And it just has this thing in the corner called install Ubuntu. It's not like, that's the only thing to me that, and home, right? Home just looks like files. That's the only thing to me that is the obvious thing to click on. I don't know. This is a weird installer thing. So I'm going to double click on that. Okay. What? I guess I just do the same thing over again. Oh, because I updated this. That's why. All right, whatever. And we will do an interactive installation. You can auto install with the YAML file, I guess. All right, so just the essentials. Default selection is just the essentials. And extended selection, we'll do default selection. Ubuntu ships with no proprietary software to default. Installing additional software may improve your computer's performance. Interesting. Install third-party software for graphics card and Wi-Fi hardware. I'm going to install nothing. We're going to stick with no proprietary software. We're going to see how that goes. No third-party software. So I am tempted to do a manual installation, but I actually don't know what I want. Like I don't know, right? This is a different, like this type of computer I haven't used before or built before, so we are just going to do a erase disk and install Ubuntu. Yeah, we're not going to customize the disk this time. So weird. This is not my normal, like, sorry, I'll go back. I'm just select a drive, you know, you just want to, I'm just selecting the SSD or flash hard drive or whatever that I want to install Ubuntu on. I could install it on the flash drive itself. I think that's a thing, but and then boot from flash drive. That's how a lot of people used to do Linux, I think. No encryption. Encrypt with a passphrase. We are going to encrypt with a passphrase. Show advanced options. Let's look at those for fun. Interesting. Okay. So I got to make sure I have the chat up here. Hi, Nezreen Maui. Dude, this is so... Sorry, I gotta fix my brightness real quick. This is like, I can't see when y'all are here, so I can't respond to people. What is happening over here? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta increase on this other screen. Let's see how. I have videos on how to do that on Nix too on my channel, or one video. Edit settings, tools. Nope, not that. Edit settings. Okay, yeah, just run a couple commands. We do Nix shell p brightness CTL. And once we get the Nix shell open, we do CTL set 2%. Nope, set. Let's do 10%. Let's do 20%. Let's do 40%. All right, that's much. Let's see if I can see. So small. Because I'm just not zoomed in enough? Maybe. All right. Not my best stream, y'all. So I can encrypt with LVM, or I can encrypt with other things. Hardware-backed encryption. Not encrypting device storage as checking TPM gave. Secure boot is disabled. So this isn't like, right, like me streams is not like, it's kind of super security, obviously. But we're, you know, we're just, this computer is getting sewed. So, the other person, the person who buys it, they can just stuff, and I'm happy to help them with that. Use hardware-backed encryption. Not in device storage is checking TPM gave. Secure boot is disabled. All right. I am going to... I'm not going to talk. I don't want to talk about these very much right now. And I'm not going to beep about which one I select, actually, after thinking about it. So, just going to move over here real quick. And just give me a minute while I select an encryption option. And create a passphrase for my encryption option. There's many different ways to create passphrases for encryption options. Yeah, there's many ways. So I am creating one right now. And when I'm done, we will get back to the install. Back to the install. Yeah, feel free if you're watching this later or or chatting now. Like, talk about passwords. Talk about how different ways of doing password stuff. There's no bad ideas to talk about at any rate. There might be some bad ideas to do. So the thing about this is, I think how it works, if I remember right, and keep in mind I'm creating and or waiting for a digital thing to create a password. So I perhaps don't have the best focus, but if this password is forgotten, when you encrypt your device like this, if this password is forgotten, I think you just can't get any of your information. Like, all your stuff is gone. So it's very important, if you're going to be keeping important stuff on a computer like this, to not forget or lose this password. And because, well, never mind. Okay. So this has been created, and we are going to finish up here with that, and then, oh wow, okay. All right, I'm just finishing up with this now. And then as soon as we finish with this, we will be on to the next one. Something about streaming, like, makes one think in a different way. Okay. Yep, it even says that I will lose all my data. Okay. And now that that's been creative, I will show what screen we are on now, and it says your name, computer's name, username, password, confirm password. So whoever ends up with this computer is probably going to want to change this. So, but I am going to I'm just going to do the minimal thing here. So I'm just going to create a password and I'm going to see how that goes. I guess that's not the minimal thing. It's possible that I wouldn't even have to create a password. But yeah, let's see. And the way I'm doing this, not that you can see, is actually just kind of a get it done method. This isn't like we're just trying to get through this. Okay. Probably the longest I've ever been quiet on stream. Okay, so let's see how this works when we just type in this password. Nope. Okay. Okay. It won't let me click next. Whoops. Uh-oh. All right, I gotta. It won't let me click next unless I put in something else. So we gotta figure out what else I gotta put in here. Okay. It does make me fill out every single field. So, yeah. Next, you select your time zone. And next, Next, it gives you a summary, and it talks about partitions, and I am just going to click install because it's a summary. And yeah, all right, so now it's just installing, and we're going to wait, and nope. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I'm going to go AFK for a second or a little bit while this install happens. Okay, I'm back. It's still installing, and I don't know how long it's going to install for. So, I will search that real quick, because I'll talk about that real quick, I guess. That makes sense. And we will come back onto the screen. I'm expecting this to be, I don't know, somewhere north of like 15 gigabytes or something, right? Because a minimal install of Linux is like, can be in the megabytes usually. Depending on what version, you know, it can really range. But when you add a GUI, right? We have a GUI here. We're doing a GUI install, and you know you're doing a GUI install because you'll have this, and it won't just be like a command line type screen where you can type commands in, which would look something like this. So the bottom, if you look at the bottom left screen that I have here, or just the bottom screen, I'm gonna make this really big. Let's fill up the whole screen, right? So if you had an install that was just a minimal, it would look just like that. It'd be a whole screen that's just basically a command line where you can type things in. It might have a little message for you. Let's see, can I? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, whatever. So when you install graphic user interface, it takes up so much more space. Graphics take up tons of disk space. So, and all the software that comes with it. So, I'm gonna search. Get rid of how to change boot priority. That's no longer relevant. I'm gonna search. How long does a graphical user, and this is going to change also depending on your hardware, right? Your read-write speeds of everything. But we'll just get a rough thing here because it might be like 30 minutes or an hour. And if it's 30 minutes or an hour, I don't really see the point in keep continuing to stream this. We'll pick up with a later stream. But let's see. How long does a graphical user interface version of Ubuntu take to install on a new computer? Yeah, just keep it simple. The AI answer, under 15 to 30 minutes. Interesting. If the computer has sufficient RAM and uses an SSD. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes less. It always depends on one's hardware. So, I think after that, we are going to be looking up. What are we going to be doing? Trying to rack my brain. All right, no chats. Cool. We'll be setting it up for robotics, right? Oh, now that I think about this, I should have gotten the Ubuntu that was specifically good for robotics. I guess it doesn't matter. I can just install software later. Well, it shouldn't matter. Whatever. What's all this stuff it has? So I'll go over all this stuff it has on the side here because I'm assuming this stuff's going to be on there. Rhythm box, I don't know what that is. I assume it's some music thing. Files, that's just files. Thunderbird mail. Thunderbird is this is like an open source email thing, if I remember right. And LibreOffice is open source it's an open source Office suite. So like, LibreOffice will have like spreadsheets and Writer and yada yada yada. App Center, it'll be interesting to look at Ubuntu's App Center. I haven't seen that before. And Trash, right? So that's what we know this is going to have to start. Well, I don't know, but I assume all those things are going to be on there. Setting up the system. We might be close to done. So I'm trying to figure out what's going to be in the next stream, or the next part of this series, and I think we're gonna, we should just get CAD working, right? I said starter CAD PC. That's what we're building. We'll get CAD working. That might be the end of the series, and then I'll move on to doing another project, another series on this channel. Probably, but we will see. Maybe I'll keep adding to that series as I have a feeling it will not be incredibly straightforward. I have a feeling there will be some tinkering, finagling, maybe some light coding to like get drivers working and everything. I don't know, just things optimized. Excellent. So Ubuntu is installed and ready to use. Restart to complete the installation or continue testing. Any changes you make will not be saved. All right, so we'll click restart. Actually, I'm gonna check chat. All right, we're gonna click restart. That was really straightforward. I'm kind of holding my breath. Please remove the installation medium, then press enter. So I'm going to remove the flash drive, which is, oh, that makes sense because it would boot into it automatically if I didn't remove it. So I'm removing the flash drive. I'm pressing enter. Press enter. And now it's rebooting. I can see the lights changing on the computer. So, or you can actually see them. right? They're over there on that screen. So sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, so as you can see, I've encrypted the thing, but everything should be good now. So that is going to be the end of this stream. It's possible that I will stream again later today, but this is a working thing of Ubuntu. And if it's not working, I do plan on streaming the whole thing, right? So that like if you come to the same problems as me, you can sort of see how I problem solved it. But yeah, I do wonder, just very quickly, let's see. How to shut down Ubuntu with keyboard commands. Keyboard, what's the word I'm looking for? Keyboard commands, we'll rate commands. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, it gives me the sudo shutdown now. How to shut down Ubuntu with hotkeys. That's a word. That's a term that might be good. Shut down Ubuntu shortcut.